Hey, you want to talk about Suzuki? I ain't no expert, but I'm becoming an expert day by day. You know what I mean? So, about a year and a half ago, something like that, I put up a video about the Kiso Suzuki guitar. And then last time we met, I showed you the guitar. So I initially said to you guys, oh, it's another Kiso Suzuki. And then I kind of looked at the label, you know, and I had it on the slab. You know what I mean? I was like, Then I got it, by the time I got it into the laboratory, I noticed, I was like, this is like a different Suzuki. And I looked up Suzuki, and there's 3 different kinds of Suzukis. There was the first 2, which was Kiso Suzuki, and the one we did the last time we met, just regular old Suzuki Violin Company. They were both one company in 1887. And Mairo Sr. had the company, and then his son Kiso and Mairo Jr. You know what I mean? One had Kiso Suzuki, and the other one was regular Suzuki, which we did last week. And I think both those companies are still around, but they're not making guitars anymore. So one of the earliest Chinese lines of guitar came from another Suzuki, which is the M Suzuki, which is a part of the regular Suzuki Musical Instrument Company, which owns Hammond, the trademark Hammond right now. Started off in the 1950s, Suzuki, the original Mr. Suzuki from this Suzuki line. He was making these little Melodion organs, these little tiny Melodion things, back in like the 50s and 60s in this country. And I remember my mom had one. Those little chord organs, you know what I mean? It belonged to my grandfather. You had a little chord. I used to use recording back when I was like, you know, in high school. It was also a cool effect on the 4-track machine, like, you know what I mean? It was cool. They made these little chord organs in Japan, a Suzuki company, and it grew into a big thing. Now they own the Baldwin and the Hammond organ, all kinds of organs, I think. They're like an organ. They're all about organs, right? Like this, M Suzuki, one of their forays into, you know what I mean, guitar making, I believe, right? I think so. And that's what I read on the internet. Bottom's all smashed in. Looks like it just pushed onto like a cement floor. The neck's about to fall off. Got no nut. Got no tuners. This is what we call a last minute salvage. But now I've presented you all 3 Suzukis, man. All the big Suzuki guitars, man. Now Guitkits has covered the Suzuki land. And if I may flip you around so you can take a good look at it, and I can unburden my own feelings about how the condition hurts me. This is the model SSG 200. And you will see the terrible condition that it's in. And we will repair it together. So 1, 2, 3. The final Suzuki. Ba-rum-ba-bum-bum. That's like a signature in there, man. Oh, I autograph it for my friends around the world. Right? Now, this is ugly. It looks like it might just be really cosmetic. I think I can get away with just pumping some glue in there, man. Calling it a date. Just replace these. Right? We might have to re-black this fretboard a little bit. Somehow. Some way. Acrylic paint, maybe. Something easy. Unsleazy. And maybe some bit cheesy. Look, it was like $12.99 at one point somewhere. Look at this. Got some home down shit, man. It's that spray foam we put in there. That's not a very good look there, Hoss. Not a very good look at all. I'm going to have to remove that. We'll see which way the wind blows on that one, right, William? I don't know if I like that. So we got our work cut out for us. That looks like it's going to be even a lot more work than the actual like, big work down there. You know what I'm saying? Standard tuners on here, looks like. We got them there dimes a dozen, folks. Gotta have something that might even fit there. Let's just look at some pictures in the learning laboratory. Feels like it's a little roughness in here, too. Water dammers. I don't know what the hell's going on in here. That's an ugly, ugly, ugly instrument. But the M Suzuki, man. There was the N Suzuki for Nagoya. There's the Kiso Suzuki for Kiso. And this is Eddie Wilson. So I'll see you in the laboratory. We'll get to work on this skipper here. Right? Skip Johnson. Welcome back to the laboratory. This thing's in fucked up condition. I mean, I could talk about a lot of things. I like to talk about this fretboard, man. What a fucking mess this is. What the hell happened here? Well, I'll tell you what happened there. Some spray foam got on there. What? Oh, spray foam? We'll talk about that in a minute, man. The only good thing is the bridge is still attached. Doesn't look like it's popping up. The one positive thing about this instrument. This is terrible, too. Not only is it cosmetic, but I mean, this wood is actually cracked. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to have to clamp this up. And this has been glued before, actually. So you can see here. I don't know if you can see it, but you can feel it a little bit, especially over here. Oh, man. There you go. It's been glued before. You know what I'm saying? So it's glued wrong. There's a little space here. So we're going to have to pry this up again. Hopefully not damage it, because it looks like it was glued pretty well, which kind of sucks. And here, there's like a... It's just a mess, man. It's really a mess. I'm sort of like very like, sort of, I don't like that. I don't like this kind of thing at all. You know what I'm saying? So I want to fix that. But this is a mess because we have to pop this up again. This is still like, this piece part here, it's just a mess, man. It's going to take a lot of work. And I don't know if I have the strength to deal with such a impeculous mess. Ooh. Making any more of it. But the worst part about it is this, man. This fucking neck fell off, and some jackhammer sprayed spray foam in there to try to glue it together. What a fucking toolbox. Ugh, what a mess. Now, I could either continue to remove this neck or try to get in there and clean this off. Just looking at it right now, it does not look like it would be very easy, but possibly possible. We can just get in there, like, jam it open a little bit, as opposed to having to take this off. And I mean, we'd have to score it, we'd have to mess around with it. It's a little bit more work than, you know what I'm saying. We might be able to just get in there and clean that out with like some sandpaper and some, maybe not, I don't know. Let's take a look at it and see how far we can get with cleaning that out, because that's the first thing we got to really worry about is the neck. Hey, Charles, look at me. See what we can clean some of that mess out. Look at that. Oh, it's terrible. Who would do that? Let me see if I have any adhesive. You know what I'm saying? It was like a clean break, too. A little bit of fucking wood glue. And they would, you know, we wouldn't be talking about this right now. We'd be saying, oh, isn't this ugly? Isn't this terrible? Isn't the fretboard bad? Isn't this, that, and the other thing? You know what I'm saying? Instead, we got to worry our heads over this nonsense, man. Hey, I can hear you over there. Stop talking about me. So let's try to clean that out and see how far we get. And if we can't get very far, let's shake this guy off. It's not going to be very hard to remove the neck. Might be even a better idea to remove the neck so we can better sort of deal with this, although it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, we'll deal with it, but it's not that big of a deal. See in a minute. And there it is. Nice and cleaned out, bare wood on both sides. No schmegma, you know what I mean? All the way down. Totally tapped out. We can see clearly. The little peg in there is clean and everything is moving fluidly. And if we put like a lot of pressure down on it, you know what I'm saying? You can't really see it that well, but it goes all the way down. So that's our next step, man, is to clamp it. Put some glue in there. So there's zero space. I mean, you might see a little white spot here. And because of, you know, getting the sandpaper in there. It took a lot of effort, really, without... But that's one less thing to do, you know. Having to retouch that's kind of a pain in the ass. And plus, you don't want to get the front of the guitar looking all ugly. It's already ugly enough, you know what I'm saying? We don't want to, you know, it's taking like a kid that was like, you know what I mean, all deformed and like, you know what I mean, throwing acid on him. Like, didn't he pretty? He looks just like me, doesn't he, Maud? You know what I'm saying? We don't want to, you know what I mean, totally destroy something. I mean, that's a kid that's got to live the rest of his life with that. That acid got rid of all the blemishes, you know what I'm saying? Now it looks a little bit more red, like ruby red. But, Dyfus, let me just glue this up and clamp it out and show you what it looks like. Because, you know what I mean? We're going to take this tape off, try to clean everything up a little tiny bit. But not too, you know what I mean, serious. See you in a minute. There it is. I got it all clamped. I got this big old He-Man clamp. Clamping, you know what I'm saying? Getting it done. We saw the glue pushing out. You know, it might look like there's a slight gap there, but I mean, that's just from the way we got in there. The sandpaper kind of smoothed over the top a little bit. And then we got a quick grip on the other side, just sort of holding things down. A piece of wood here. Right? And the edge of the countertop there. Let this set, 2-3 days, right? We got it on top of the drill press here, the mini drill press. And I got like a big steel box on top of that just to get a perfect leverage, man. See? This will straighten out the neck too. Better than nothing. See you in 3 days. Alright, so we let it go about a week actually. I know I said like 3 days or something like that, but then I decided, you know what, let me just let it go for like at least a week. You know what I'm saying? Get a lot of time. Turn the humidifier and, you know, part of the basement down a little bit. It's just so this thing can sort of like, you know, reset a little bit the action. Let's take these clamps off and take a look at her. Look at me now. I'm in an open face. Alright, so it looks perfect. Really, I mean, the guitar has been significantly improved by that. It could use a little bit of coloring in there, and we'll get to that in due time. I want to get the important stuff out of the way before we start dilly-dallying on the bullshit, right? See this? I need to get a little bit of a razor blade or like a chisel or something in there, like something to open that guy back up, because I want to push him in there and re-glue him. Not too much over here. We're okay here. I mean, it's a little bit over, but this thing's broken. I don't want to mess with it too much. But here's bothering me, man. Right? I'll see you in a moment. Alright, so we got the wound back open. There's still a little bit of, you know what I mean, glue to sort of flake off. Use the regular old lowly X-Acto knife, man. So we're going to, you know, this is flexible now. We can push it in a little bit with some pressure. I can't really show you that well. I better break my nail, man. Oh, you get the idea. You see that? It goes back in when you put a little bit of pressure on there, man. So we're going to pump some glue into there, man. And glue being this, man, I'm not going to show you the trademark. I want some sponsorship, man. But, you know what I mean? It begins with a gore and ends with a Gorilla Glue, man. That's the kind I use. And I'm going to just pump it in there. Put a pipe clamp in there. Put a quick grip on here. A lot of clamping going on with this damn guitar, man. Weeks and weeks of clamping time, man. Hey, man, you want to go clamping with me, bro? Yeah, man, we'll stay in the same sack together. You know what I mean, man? Keep yourself warm, man. None of that weird stuff, bro. You seem like one of the weird types, man. Yeah, man, you got any mask, man? Yeah, so that's the solution, people. We got a curved pipe clamp, you know, a bent pipe. It's always the trick for doing the crosstown traffic thing on one of these acoustic guitars, man. The double shoulder thing. No tricks of the trade, people. Crosstown traffic. And we got the middle quick grip going down right to the countertop, holding it down. Holding it flush and holding it down. There's no underhang, no overhang. We're not hanging out, man. Hey, man. I'm kind of hanging out, bro. Kind of offended by that. So we'll let this set 2 or 3 days. And we'll start working on this also after the first day or two. You know what I mean? We're going to let this set and dry for a little minute there in Noriega. And then after about a day, we're going to pump a little bit of glue in here. And we're going to put a flat board on there. And put the other quick grip right here. Kind of holding it down. But let's worry about this just for a little while. I want to get that set. I don't want to do too much stuff at once. Because that might, you know what I mean, loosen the whole proceedings over here. And that's not something we want to do. Don't want to do that. So I'll see you in about a day. We'll start clamp the other side, man. Because this is all just broken and token, man. Out in the shed with your sister, bro. You know what I'm saying, man? She didn't want to say anything about it, but we're like a thing, you know what I mean? Deal with it, man. Peace be with you. Erwin, you jerk off. Alright, so it's been about 27 hours 27.6 hours to be precise, since we clamped it. And it's sort of dry, which is good. So we've pumped a whole bunch of glue into this little crack. This isn't just a finished thing. This is an actual crack. This is finished. See how the glue, the wood glue, will actually set differently into the real crack, as opposed to just the finished deficits. Anyway, so it's in there. We got a lot of it in there. We did it like 3 times, and we cleaned it off with a rag. Dried it off. We got a fresh piece of wax paper, wax side down. We're going to center this very flat board right over the sort of, see, the crack goes, it kind of like goes wavy. This part's a little bit higher on this end, this part's a little bit lower over here. So this is like sort of a wavy sort of joint. So we're going to try to flatten it out a little bit, because it seems to be very flexible. If you touch it down, it will sort of flatten out. But it has to be like touched, otherwise it'll like naturally rise up. So we're going to clamp that guy down, and I'll see you right then. And that's what I'm talking about, man. Should be like, you know what I mean, structurally good after another day or two. We're just sitting there like this. So, having nothing else to talk about right now, I'm going to magically fast forward to a day or two, right? And 1, 2, 3. Alright, so it's been about 3 days. 3 days just curing out, getting that glue nice and hard. Strongly clamped in place with the humidifier down just a smidge in this zone. So let's take off these shackles and be free. I'll see you in 1. Oh, don't fail me now, Bessie. 2. Look at that. Perfectly aligned. A little messy. We got some glue spill out here that could be wiped off, right? But it's totally like correct. There's no overhang, no underhang. It's perfect. Like a great reset, man. And it's fully functional, man. So now we're like 1,000% on the structural side. You know what I mean? This thing, it's solid, man. There's no more breaks, no creaks, no movement. Won't be any movement with regular use, right? So we're good on that point. So now we got to get onto the cosmetic trip, man. Cosmetically, we got to start looking at this guitar and thinking to ourselves, how are we going to beautify this instrument? Now, the first thing that jumps out at me, because there are a lot of things we need to sort of do, but, you know, most of them are little things. First thing that I see here is this terrible condition of this fretboard, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, it's just nasty. You know what I mean? It's a lot of play wear and a lot of just wear. You know what I'm saying? It's fucked up. The instrument looks like it's been through hell. And then after, like, it used to be like an instrument that still continue to be abused. You know what I'm saying? Thrown around, disrespected. I forgot about, man. Getting emotional, man. So we're going to want to rejuvenate this in a special way. It's not going to be that painful for anybody. Make it look pretty again. Make this guitar great again. Right? Got some old maxing tape. This is also known as painter's tape. Hey, man, it's a painter tape, man. It's pretty much just masking tape that's blue. Some of it has a little bit less tack. Mostly just the same. This is what we call a hole puncher. Right? You've probably seen one of these before. It makes little holes, right? And many of these hole punchers that we've been able to purchase over the past civilized times, for the past 50 years, have a little trap door like swung around here, so it keeps all the like little holes inside, and you just, you know what I'm saying, to the garbage can. You know what I'm saying? Some people might not even know what this is, man. What is that, man? Let me look it up on my device with Google Picture Search. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you will know what this is. Anyway, so I've had that little trap drawer removed, man. I would like to remove, man. I don't want any trap drawer in there. So I just put it onto the tape. It comes right out, and you can grab the little piece of the tape, man. We're going to put it on each one of these little huecos, man. That means hole in Spanish. Probably some other romantic language. Hey, my name is Don Juan. I like to get my hueco llenado. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's what it is, man. So let's tape that off right now. Sometimes I like to tape off these frets, but at this point I'm thinking, you know, I'll probably play this guitar twice. And I'll probably be able to get most of the sealant off. But let's just do one thing at a time, because I don't want to confuse anybody. Because I mean, I don't know your learning level, man. You might be like a low-level learner. And I don't want to be confusing you, but, oh, what's he doing there, Ford? I can't understand what is he doing. A hole puncher? I wrote that down. I'm going to look that up on Giggle in a second. Hang on a second. I'll see when we're all taped off, man. Slowly, 1 thing, 2. Right, I'm not even going to bother you guys. We're just going to go to the next segment. Thank you. Oh, there we go, man. So we let Ringo keep the job, you know. He was ugly. He didn't give any competition a pull in the pretty boy department. Right? That's what John Lennon said to his assistant. He said that Paul McCartney was, you know, intimidated by Pete Best's good look. Other than that, John Lennon gave a shit less with Ringo or Pete. You know what I'm saying? Paul's in charge, man. Big Macca. So we blacked it out. We're going to let it dry completely. Then we're going to go outside. We're going to complete the process of coating it. We'll keep it a mystery until we're out there. Right? Let's give it another 10 minutes to dry. And I'll show you outside our little sealing deal. Alright, so we're outside. Nice breezy spring day. I kept the frets nice and clean with a wet rag while we were finishing it out. In the sunshine here, it kind of looks a little bit less glamorous, but downstairs look pretty good. So we're going to seal it. So we're going to use, man, acrylic sealer. You know what I mean? This is like a flat kind of thing, so it's a nice matte deal. Just make sure the guitar is well masked. Not too crazy of a coat, because we're going to want to clean off these frets after we're done. I'll show you if we're sprayed down. Patricia Nimrock. It'll wet my whistle. Wet my whistle good. So we'll let it out here in the sun for a little while. Just let it breeze out for about 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Then we'll bring it down to the basement. Let it set for about 2-3 hours, and I'll see you back in the laboratory. Alright, so it's been about an hour and a half since we sprayed it outside. We're back in the laboratory. We still haven't unmasked it. It's almost dry, but it still smells like the paint, so we know it's still curing out a little bit. So that's good. It isn't totally, but we had it out there for a while. And we had it down here for a little while. So I have a very, very, very fine sanding block, foam block. And we're just going to go gingerly over here. Some of these steps, if you're not like real good, you're shaky, you don't really know it, you should get a fret protector. Go over the frets because we're going to get a little bit physical. After we've gone over with that, we're going to take a little tiny piece of steel wool and just individually dress each one of these. Make sure they look kind of clean, but not get, you know what I mean, too much stuff around anything else. Right? And after we're done doing that, we're going to take a little piece of acetone, man. A piece of acetone on a drop of some magic erase sponge, right? It's a little tiny piece. And we're going to quickly sort of strip it of whatever else is on there, but we're not going to get that on anything other than that. We're going to follow it up with a quick brusque meeting with a clean, dry paper towel. And then I'll come to you the next pernt. Right? Yeah, pernt it ass. Alright, so these frets are bare. To the world, they're pretty much level. There's not too much fret wear. Actually pulling these little dots off while we're cleaning up the frets. It looks great, man. Looks like everything served its purpose. So let's demask it, take all this shit off, pull these little labels off. You know, where this one already kind of fell off. Let's do that now in a timely manner. Right, and then I'll let it dry another hour or so. I'll see you in about an hour after we've pulled everything off and it's totally dried out, man, and just ready for Freddy. Alright, so we're unwrapped. Still got quite a pungent odor, so I kind of want to put it back outside. But before I do, this is sort of slightly cosmetic, slightly like structural, but more cosmetic. This is flat because we had a board on there, but it's a little bit, you know what I mean? I want to kind of get something in there that's really sort of, you know what I'm saying, penetrative. I want to penetrate all these little nooks and crannies, man. I want to solidify it. So I'm going to take a little bit of this. This is real, like, light viscosity, man. And we're just going to wick it. Oh, wick it the E-walk. Right? Wick it, E-walk it. Up and down this little main fucking grand fucking crevice, man. And all the little tributaries of the riverbed will flood over as well. Civilization will be doomed, damn it. Right? The book of Enoch was written by Noah's great uncle. His name was Frederick Bornes. He lived in Massachusetts. I'll see you after we've been all whicked up, man. Why don't you whick yourself up, boy? Wick it good. Got him all whicked out, hoss. What do you want me to do with him now? It's a very good wicking job. We had to get real heavy over here. Some of the finish is actually missing. So we're just going to let it set, man. We're going to let this guy set up right like this for a little while. Then we're going to put the cap on him nice and tight. Get all the glue that's in the nose there back into the container properly. So let this set a couple hours. And I want this glue to really, you know, just what I was supposed to do. I'm so proud of it. I'm proud to be an American. Alright, so we brought it down to grade. It looks good. A lot of work getting all the glue and stuff off of the... It was everywhere on the back, too. I mean, there was like 15 handprints on it. We got most of it off. You know what I mean? Especially around here. It was just terrible. It was everywhere. There's glue everywhere. So we're at that point where we're going to sort of clean it off a little bit more thoroughly. We've got some furniture polish. 12.3% kielbasa grease. We're going to get it all clean. You know what I'm saying? Just clean it up, man. Peel the sticker off for crying out loud. And get it all totally clean. That's the next point. Where we'll see each other. 1, 2, 3. There it is, man. This is all sheeny shanny. Shantytown Station. We kept it away from the fretboard. We didn't want to get any grease on there, man. That's a new couch. Looks great. You know what I'm saying? That sort of gives like a nice sort of sheen gloss back to the whole proceedings and it gets serious again. But, I mean, really, we are sort of missing a little bit of color here and there. We're banged into there, banged into this. You know what I mean? We're missing all kinds of shenanigans over here. You know what I mean? Where we've been digging for gold for years. You know, there's all kinds of problems happening there. And of course, you know, the standard old bang-a-tang stang, you know what I'm saying? All this black around the sides, especially over here. Especially down the drop zone. You know what I'm saying? Not good there, Charles. Don't look like you're in charge of nobody. Not even that Nicole Eggert. So we're going to take these. And we're just going to clean it up, Charles. Right? I think he abused Buddy, too, man. Put that cigar inside of your butt. Okay, Charles. He couldn't even call him Scott Baio. He had to call him Charles. He was a method actor. You know what I'm saying? Seeing a mermaid, man, when we've been colored. You know what I mean? I'll tell you what I mean. Look at that now. Look at that there, sonny boy. So much better. Such better defined. You know what I mean? More developed. You know what I'm saying? It's more correct. It looks a little bit less banged around, really. It's nice. So, now's the point. First, we're going to take a little bit of paste wax. We're going to put it on this fretboard. Right? We're just going to put a little bit of paste wax on there. Smooth it out a little bit. And then, everywhere else, we're going to put a little bit of Mom's. You know what I'm saying? Some Mother's. Brazilian Cornalba wax, man. Everywhere else. In the front, the back, the sides, back of the neck, headstock. Back of the headstock. Sides of the headstock. Stock of the headstock, man. Particularly like how we sort of got rid of all that damage on the corners there. It looks really good. I'm impressed. Filbert, you did a good job. Right? So let's get the wax and sacks, man. Just like the Fox and Socks. See in 1, and 2, and 3. Look at that glossy glimmer. Look at that. It looks perfect. I'm so proud. You know what I mean? Once I was just sort of excited, but now I'm like physically proud. I'm physically proud. I actually feel a pang of pride as I look at this getter. I said, wow, this was a hunk of shit a couple days ago. You know what I'm saying? So, here we go, man. it's time to start putting on some hardware. We got some stuff ordered, so I'm going to bring you into the learner laboratory and show you what one of the originals looked like, what we ordered. We're coming in very shortly, so everything should line up perfectly. So I'm going to see you in the learning laboratory in 1 and 2 3 seconds. Welcome back to the learning laboratory. So we're here to learn about what accoutrements this instrument had when it was made, right? 'Cause that's what we want to know, you know what I mean? Because we want to make this great again, right? So we have a listing here on Reverb that ended quite a while ago. $80 plus $20 shipping. So this must have been back in the old day before inflation got us up, man. This is a deal and a steal, people. The thing is, I will say, it's a pretty rare instrument. I don't see very many of these online. Right now, I don't see any of them. And this is the only thing I see that's archived from a million years ago. So, hey, man, maybe this is like a special artifact, man. Maybe it's this very instrument after the, you know, when person bought it for $80. Like, this piece of crap, man, and broke it. You know what I'm saying? On a crazy, you know what I'm saying, meth rage. And like, you know what I'm saying, who smashed it out and took the tuners off of it. We're going to see exactly what kind of tuners we need, what we need to put on there, what we got. We're going to do it up. So let me show you the pictures real quick from Reverb. Reverberation, man. I want you to get a full experience. This is the back. You can see the tuners a little bit. I'll just give a real quick overview. See this? It's got these sort of plastic rings, you know what I mean? This set of tuners, we can buy them off AliExpress very cheap. So that's what we're going to do. I got a set on order right now. I got a whole bunch of them, actually. So we can be, you know what I mean, comfortable for a long time. It's got a regular standard nut. Looks like the old, you know, import Gibson style, you know, it's a Les Paul, what they call a Les Paul nut. You know what I'm saying? That's their measurement. And it comes with a little piece that will, you know what I mean, fit right into the bridge piece. The same exact label that ours has, like 1,000,000% exact. This is the piece I'm talking about right here. You see that piece right there? That little piece right there, the little bridge, man. That's what I'm talking about. See, we got white bridge pins. I think they're originally, see that nice, like, tall action on this guy. Mine's gonna be much better because of that clamp we added in. See these bridge pins? I think initially they all had little, like, inserts in them, but the inserts had fallen out. See the back? Nothing to write home about. Like I said, I can get these same ones on AliExpress. I've already ordered them in multiples for future projects too, people. And the part is almost exactly the same. Hasn't changed at all. These originally had little dots in them. You know what I'm saying? All the dots have fallen out. Cheesebird dots. This is like a 8-hole Martin style is what they call it. Just in case you want to know, man. It's Martin style, though. It's not just like Martin. This is the other piece that comes in the Les Paul assembly. I bought a bunch of them. It's like a nut set and a bridge set. So we're all set, man. We're all set. And you've seen the photographs. A lot of these have been banged around. There's no love for it. Here it is, man. So we're done with the learning laboratory. We got the stuff on order. Let's go back to the real laboratory once we get the parts in. I'll see you then. Welcome back to the laboratory. So, 1 week's time, I get a package in the mail. 5 of these envelopes in there. I paid $16 change for like 5 sets of these. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful productions. These are essentially, you know, the same machinery the Koreans were using in the early 70s. Chinese got it right from the Koreans. We got some of it from the Japanese, believe it or not, man. And Chinese now own all the string making equipment that we used to have. So, I mean, they're pretty much making, you know, old stock stuff. I mean, you look at the silver tuners and everything, the gears and everything. That's exactly what was on this instrument. Looks great. So we're going to attach just the, you know what I mean, strips onto it. We're going to leave these little plastic bushings in there. We're just going to take the screws. It comes with beautiful screws, too. They're like exactly perfect for the job. We're just going to screw them onto this instrument, right? And we're going to put the other 5 packs away for a rainy day, man. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I can say about Joe Biden's administration, man. That despite the international turmoil, Chinese can still make a good product at a cheap price and offer free shipping. So look at that, man. Looks great, man. Looks beautiful. Perfectly right in there without any kind of holes needing to be drilled. Even got an extra screw. Still got all those bushings. Let's talk turkey about this. Now, right after the pandemic started to fizzle out, I bought like 6-7 sets of these. I think I needed something extra for free shipping somewhere along the line. This is 2021. This is the last one. I have a whole bunch of these. I don't have that many of these left. This is the correct size nut. Totally 1,000,000%, right? I'm assuming that's the correct size saddle right there. But I could be wrong. We will see. Let's open up this little package. Glue this guy down. Glue this guy down. I'll see if that mermaid. And there it is, man. Ready to unclamp in only 10 minutes. Been using super glue, man. This is the glue I used to always use, the gel. This is not really that good, man. Stop using it. I'm using Gorilla now. I'm not going to show you any Gorilla trademarks until I get sponsorship, man. When I am using it, it is much superior. It's strong as hell. You know what I mean? You glue your fingers together just looking at the thing. So, let's unclamp it. Oh, look at that. A brand new world. This new horizons coming through. Right? Copyright Disney. 2001. Whatever the fuck it was. There it is, man. We're going to put them on here very carefully. We see that we've easily fit that piece in here. Easily fit that piece in there. Excellent, man. I got a whole bunch of these not long ago. I think iPlay is the name of the seller. Right, that's just the part we needed. And what else, man? What's the final countdown number? Set of light coppers. You know what I'm saying? Any guitar that's had neck problems like this, where you sort of done a hillbilly repair to, you know what I'm saying? You're going to want to put like a light set of strings in here. I'm going to put heavies on there so I can make it growl. Hear people talk like, oh, put 13s and 14s in my guitar. Why? Well, why? Why, William? Why would you do that? Anyway. Right? Together. Glamour shots. Assembled guitar. Look at that, like a glove. Like a glove. And there it is, man. Actually not bad. You know what I'm saying? Once you get past the big ugly sort of scar, it's like you get a friend that's like missing a limb or something like that in the first like couple months that you hang with them. That's all you focus on. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, you know what I'm saying? Hope that you didn't think I was, you know what I mean? Make fun of me when I said the word stub. You know what I'm saying? I was just talking about my pay stub. Hope he didn't think I was trying to offend him when I said the word cut off. I was just trying to talk about the last date that I could file my taxes. Hope that he wasn't offended when I said, hey man, you look like an amputee weirdo. Because I really meant that shit. But anyway, here it is. Not a bad instrument. You know what I'm saying? No, the best instrument we've ever talked about together. I'm not going to fucking lie to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to lie to you. Now, in 2 weeks, we're going to come back together. And we're going to see an instrument that I think was probably made in the same process. It looks very similar to this. It has the same kind of bridge in Korea. It's got a connection with our special place where we live. And I just got it in a recent joint out to Pennsylvania. It kind of breaks up the 2-4. This being the year of 2-4, 24. I'm trying to do all the months like a twofers. You know what I'm saying? You get it? A two for every month. Because it's 24. That's what I'm trying to do. But sometimes, some months have 3 weeks. So we have to do a special episode that's not related at all to the rest of the month. That being said, so before we hear this, I got a special treat for you, man. the Trio Perfecto review, man. Let's see all of these over on the slab together. The Kiso Suzuki, the regular Suzuki Violin Company guitar, and the M Suzuki from the Suzuki Musical Instruments Company. Their first foray into Chinese instruments, right? Let's see them all together. 1. Oh no. 2. Oh no. And here we have the three amigos, man. The Trio. Without a doubt, hands down, the nicest of all three of these is the Kiso Suzuki. It's got the real nice bridge. It's got a real nice rosette. Real nice details. It's just the nicest one. Secondly, of course, quality-wise, is this one. Not quite as nice. One from last week, last time, last episode, our last journey together. Part 2. It's okay, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not great. This is, again, the father of the parent company of Suzuki. The first one, although these two companies, I believe, you know what I mean, are equally powerful. Suzuki Musical Instruments. This is Myro Suzuki, founded in the 50s for the chord organs, right? This is their first like foray into guitars. And this is the one we're talking about this time around. So we got them all together, man. The Suzuki Trio. All the major Suzukis from the Japanese lineage together. And none of them are really guitar companies. You know what I'm saying? Violin Company. Organ Company. Right? Who'd have thunk? So let's hear it. Let's listen to it, right? And then we can say, peace be with you. Look after you. Peace be with you. Look after you. Peace be with you. So before we hear it, man, I got to give you a Rogues Gallery. A quick top 4 Rogues Gallery. Now that's what I call, you know what I mean, my top favorite people who are rogues, man. These people not only have been canceled, but they've been disqualified. Now, it's the old Guitkits belief that people should be based on their ability and not, you know, the fucked up things that they did. Most artists and like athletes and like famous people are fucked up people, right? We should base their, you know what I mean, legacy on their ability, man. You know, not the fucked up part that they are. So, Rogues Gallery number 1. Each one of these items I'm going to present to you. I'm going to present a story why I don't think they're rogue, based on the artifact I have that these rogues have actually touched with their own hands, man. This one right here is from like the turn of the millennium, man. It says Cosbiology, right? I want to show you, man. I want to show you the DNA, man, of the great man himself in this, man. Look at this, man. This is hand-signed first edition. Bill Cosby himself, that says, man. Now, I want you to take a good note of this name right here, man. George Booth. See this little Woodstock-looking thing over here, and these little cartoons that Bill Cosby's got there. They pose for this little picture. This book right here, this Cosbiology, is a book that Bill Cosby's company put out, right? Just based on the fact that everything he did at the, you know, this point in the world sold like hotcakes. And he was a trusted person. This guy, George Booth, was a former cartoonist for the New Yorker who was real temperamental and basically needed money. Bill Cosby was like, you know, here's a whole bunch of my old stand-up routines. Print them out in book form. You know what I'm saying? Draw little pictures, and you can take the proceeds from it. George Booth, man. And he had his name on like the front cover and everything. See that right there, George Booth, man. And he talks about him, George Booth. You know what I mean? Even that page I showed you that signed before, he was like the name George Booth on it. George Booth didn't sign this. I don't give a fuck about George Booth. He just passed very recently. He's like 95 years old. And his wife, well, I believe he was good friends of the Cosby family, all together. You know what I'm saying? Just passed recently, too. Rest in peace, George Booth. And, you know what I mean? Peace be with you, is all I got to say. Rogue number 2, man. This is a great one, man. This is a great one. This right here is like a late era Iraqi 250 dinners. I get 250 dinners for this particular piece of currency. Dinars, right? Note, right? And this is notable not just because of that little image I showed you, because of the front too. But whose picture on the front? It's old Saddam. This is signed by Saddam Hussein himself. I don't know if you can see that. I want you to look at him. Let me turn the flash on real quick. I don't want to shine up. I don't want to blast Saddam. I do want to blast him. It's like a ballpoint pen. Turn that off, man. I don't want the artifact to get ruined, man. If you take a good look at it, man, you'll see that right here. See a little squiggle? It's part of a signature. Signed by Saddam Hussein. Like, what? I got this for like $35 when Saddam Hussein was captured. A couple months after he was captured. He'd been in captivity for a little while. And he was being guarded by some kid from Bucks County, Pennsylvania. And he was like, you know, I guess his mother was sending him tasty cakes, boxes of tasty cakes and shit. And this dude was selling like autographed, you know what I mean, uncirculated Iraqi currency signed by Saddam Hussein, you know what I mean, online. And he had a picture of him in the auction eating butterscotch crimpets with Saddam Hussein, like while signing these banknotes. Turns out that Saddam Hussein loved tasty cakes, butterscotch crimpets, and he would give him boxes of them to sign shit. And they're like, I guess, friends, if you could say that. So that's an example right there, man. Let's try to see if you see that one. It's on my faded these days, man, because it was a long time ago, man. But you see that? That was signed, man, by Saddam himself. You know what I mean? So that's why he was in captivity. He just, like, his final days, man, he, like, sat in a little, you know what I mean, like, American-provided cell, right? And he ate tasty cakes, man. Right? So that's rogue object, right? Number 2. All right, number 3 is this is a fucking kisser, man. It's a killer, man. This is incredible, man. See this, man? Reconocimiento. There's pictures of fucking Fidel Castro and shit. The big signature, Fidel Castro Ruz. Castro, and there's all these youth rallies and shit like that. What the fuck is this, man? What the fuck is that, man? This is the year 2001, right? Old Fidel Castro. He had a program of all university students. See the date at the bottom there? Take a look at that, man. Right? There's the date right there. All the university students, right? They would get a certificate saying that they were all members of the new revolution and shit. And that's basically what this thing says. And so this dude, Fidel Castro, signed each and every one of these fucking things. Not only did he sign it, but also apparently he wrote out all these names too. Fidel Castro himself, because it's the same exact handwriting, and there's another thing that shows it him like filling one of these out. Some of them, the early ones are done in black Sharpie. Like the later ones are done in like blue Sharpie. But every single university student in Cuba received one of these certificates, personally written out and signed by Fidel Castro in the year 2001. Isn't that fucking crazy? I think I spent $150 for this thing back in the year 2002 or 3. I think I did a good investment on that. I look at it every day. I have that right in my office. I'm like, wow. Isn't that crazy? You know what I'm saying? Would Joe Biden do that? I don't know if he'd be able to write it once or twice. Forgetting who he was. By far, though, man, the most important rogue this week that we're talking about, man. O.J. Simpson. This is a Buffalo Bills promotional mailing signed to somebody that I got at the flea market. Now, I had written to O.J. Simpson a couple years before I saw this for $10 at the flea market. It was about 2 or 3 years before the Cuba Gooding Jr. miniseries came on Netflix. You know what I'm saying? O.J. been away for a while. I said, hey, man, I always admired you, O.J. Simpson.
You know, my grandfather was a huge Buffalo Bills fan. We used to sit on the couch. You know, Jim Kelly was like a hero to me as a kid, actually. I love the Buffalo Bills. A little bit later generation, but O.J. Simpson was on every one of those broadcasts. Always as a special commentator. You know what I mean? And always talking about, you know, how great of a running back he was, and how it was like, there was only 3 games back then, man. You know what I'm saying? I ran around the whole continent, you know what I'm saying? O.J. is the best, though, you know what I'm saying? I first, like, saw O.J., like, as a hero in those Naked Gun films that were real popular around there. I was like, wow, man. Nordberg, man. Isn't that something? O.J. signed a million things. Most of it, you know, he signed after he killed 2 people, you know what I mean? And he was like, that's why he went to jail, because he, you know, went after a bunch of people that took all the stuff that he signed that he was trying to hawk. And they were like, oh, we'll sell it for you, O.J. And they never, like, sold it for him, and he was trying to get it back. You know, read about it. But O.J., by the time he's old, he wrote it real, like in like a script, and like a thick Sharpie, you know, like real quick. But in these ones, the few lucky fans that got one back, man, when they wrote it out real nice. You know what I'm saying? Before, you know what I'm saying? Before the blood flowed. You know what I'm saying? OJ's my hero, man. This is written at a time when he had nothing but good things coming his way, man. This is like the late, you know, mid-70s, late 70s, you know, I'd say that. You know, Buffalo Bills uniform, right? Socks. Those socks are screaming 1979 to me, man. The font. Saying. That's incredible, man. O.J. Simpson. Rest in peace, Nordberg, man. You know what I'm saying? He didn't kill my wife. Like I said. I'll say it again. You know, so we lost the greatest running back of all time, man. Right? In like 7 games. This is an incredible instrument. Sorry, tuning it, because I just talked for a real long time and I just put these strings on. You know what I'm saying? It was like a race against time to get those tuners in, because I didn't have a set for it. And they came. And it's almost time to air the episode. I still got to talk about my sadness of the passing of the greatest running back of all time. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Kato Kalin says the day of the murders there at Burger King, and Ron Goldman was like revving the engine of that Ferrari he bought Nicole Brown Simpson, like right in front of OJ, like, yeah, like, bitch. So fuck Ron Goldman, really. Like, he's just. And another one I don't like. I hate Fred Goldman. Oh, I hate Fred Goldman. Fuck you, man. You should have taught your son common sense, bro. So O.J. Simpson, he's gonna fucking kill your son if he acts like a fucking prick like that. You're not tough. O.J. said, yeah, then he got some kind of karate stance. No, motherfucker, I'd do that. Just cut his head off with a knife. If I did it, you know what I'm saying? That's what he said in the interview. You should look it up on YouTube, man. Fuck you, Ron Goldman, stupid ass. You know what I'm saying? You're just playing with fire, man. Dumb shit to do, man. Listen to that guitar, though, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, Ron Goldman? Your son would still be alive if you would sit down. Son, if you ever have a chance with an ex-athlete's beautiful ex-wife, what you're going to want to do is take her Ferrari out. You know, and you see her poor, dejected ex-husband hanging out with some kind of white dude at a Burger King. You want to rev the tires like, that's how you're going to get success with that bitch. That's what fucking Fred Goldman did, man. And look what happened to old Ronnie boy. Yeah, I'm saying, I'll snap his head off. Just like a Pez. Fell right on the ground. Oops, and here's the other one. Oh, my head came off too. So I just ran like a motherfucker. Right through the airport. With my Hertz car on. You know what I'm saying? I love you, O.J. Simpson, man. You were like a hero to me, man. Listen to this instrument. I could just hear the people dissubscribing. But fuck, right? It's already out of tune. But you get the idea, man. It's a nice little dreadnought instrument. Dreadnought? Is it dreadnought or is it dreadnought, man? and feeling fine. Knew there was something special on my mind. Sweetness is close to me like I knew she would. Something tells me I'm into something good. She only danced for a minute or two, but she drove my line the whole night through. Can it be that we're falling in love? She's everything I've been thinking of. Rest in peace, Nordberg. Peace be with you. Next week we got a special surprise. It's not a Suzuki. It's an oddball Asbury Park specialty, man. Love and peace to everybody, man. Remember the roads, man. These people have been not only canceled, fucking disqualified, man.